Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants of the Cool Team. Your host, your YouTube Messiah, and of an never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious is gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Austin, Texas, and well, like the old saying goes, keep Austin weird. And well, this episode definitely was weird, because if there was ever a way to describe it, it would have to be the age-old analogy of, it's like seeing a monkey hump a football. Yeah. Before I get into that, though, the big things that did happen, which, not gonna lie, folks, this is probably gonna take up more time than going over Raw. Jon Moxley, formerly Dean Ambrose, did appear on Jericho's show. Did give his 2 cents and gave his story on what led him to leave. You know, and here's my thing. I'm never going to argue on if a person feels like they're not happy in the company. Any company, whether it's WWE, McDonald's, Walmart, TNA, whatever. If they don't feel like they're happy there and they want to go, you know, if honestly, because here's my mindset. I want you to be at your best. And if I can't have you at my best here, go ahead, go. Go. I'm sorry I bothered you. I'm sorry I couldn't do that. I'm sorry I couldn't do that for you then. And that's it. Now, I do give Moxley a lot of credit. You know, he did go into detail about a lot of stuff on what he said and what he felt was wrong, and a lot of it is a lot of the same, and it's going to sound cliche, but it does sound a lot like the same stuff you hear anyone who left WWE on bad terms say, but you know, he actually gave legit reasonings instead of just saying, oh well, they didn't know what to do with this. Oh well, they just gave me shit for that. You know, yeah, he was professional in his way of doing it, I should say, is the best way to put it. Also, big thing happened over the course of the weekend, NXT 25. Oh my God, what a show that was. Beautiful show. And finally got to see the christening of the one and only undisputed NXT Heavyweight Champion, Adam Cole, baby. And wow, man, that was a damn good show. And during the show, they did break the news for an announcement that NXT UK is going to be doing a takeover show in Cardiff. Now, here's with a catch, and I'm going to go off on this in a minute. It is on the very same day as AEW's Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view. Not at the same time, mind you, because keep in mind, it's a UK takeover, so while it's 8 p.m. over in the UK, if you're on Eastern Seaboard like yours truly, that'd be about 2 or 3 p.m., give or take. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting, because not only is it the AEW show, New Japan also has a show that day. So, that's one for the history books. You got 3 major wrestling shows all culminating on one day. Now, that's the cool thing. Here's the thing that fucking pissed me off. All the fucking dipshit Smarky McSmarkertons out there thinking, oh well, they're doing this to bury the companies. They're trying to crush the competition. Shut the fuck up, you stupid fuck knuckles. Here's the cold hard truth that not a lot of people bother to think about or want to know about. But this is the actual business side of the wrestling business. Ready? Venues are booked months in advance, multiple months in advance. You know, by the time they booked, you know, when they booked this show coming up in Cardiff, you know, they probably booked that back in March or February. They probably got the venue done in March or February, and they were like, okay, well, that's it. We can't do any press releases until, you know, until we get closer to it. You know, which is obviously understandable, no different than AEW. You know, they didn't announce that their other one, All Out, was going to be until the Double or Nothing show. So, yeah. It's simple business. It's not one company trying to go against another or trying to crush competition. Just stop. Stop. So many fans are so cutthroat now, being pro WWE, anti AEW, pro AEW, anti WWE. Just fucking be happy that there's competition out there. Be happy there's wrestling out there in general. Because I guarantee 99.9% of the wrestlers out there, men, women, midgets, guys with one leg, no legs, whatever, all of them are just happy that there's companies out there to work at. You know? Yeah. So, let's start off now. Raw, Austin, Texas. It starts out, Roman coming down, getting ready to go off about Shane. Shane and Drew McIntyre come out, just as Shane is in the middle of having the ring announcer introduce him. Best in the world. Man, shut up. You just hear Roman, shut up. You know, and I always say, when there's chaos, there's opportunity, and things always tend to happen for a specific reason. Now, you rewind the clock, go in the Wayback Machine a long time ago, when Roman first started going solo, when the Shield first broke up. Roman, choppy on his promos, spacing, talking slow, very green, should say. And then he was out for like 30 or 60 days because he had a hernia or a hysterectomy or something. So during that time, he wound up freaking doing coaching classes, wound up working at this performance center, doing promo classes at the ass, and then when he came back, he started to have more personality in his promos. He was more of a person when he talked. And it just fucking shows. And you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Case in fucking point. So yeah. Now, they wind up hyping up their now Roman and Shane, they hype up their match coming up in Saudi Arabia, coming up on this Friday coming up. And just as they're about to, and McIntyre saying, Roman, I can come down there and take you out right now, which they also hyped up and announced. They're going to have Roman and McIntyre are going to have a match at the next pay-per-view, Stomping Ground, which, gotta be honest, at least it's better than Great Balls of Fire. And just as McIntyre takes 2 steps, next thing you know, boom, Revival comes in, does a sneak attack on them. Next thing you know, they all come. Next thing you know, McIntyre and Shane, they come down, beat the snot out of Roman. Next thing you know, Usos come down, even things up, and then we got a match. So one of the Usos wound up being the punching bag for a majority of this match. Roman wound up, Roman got in during the break. And yeah, it was just, this was just shit. This was just gaga. You know, it was gaga. That's all it was, basically. Match came to an end. McIntyre hit a Claymore on one of the Usos who was tagged in. After that, they proceeded to beat the crap out of Roman. And then Shane did a spear on him and then mocked Roman doing the whoa thing, which, I'm not going to lie, that was the only redeeming quality in this. That was funny, and I dug the shit out of that. Next up, we got Lacey Evans going against Charlotte Flair, and this came to be because Becky came out, cut a promo on how, you know, she's saying, just as she was, and is still, is the man, you know, and not gonna lie, she said she felt the, and I'm paraphrasing mind you, she started to feel a little, started to get a little lax, you know, little set in her ways, and then losing the SmackDown title lit a fire back up in her, and now she's ready to go and kick ass and take names. Which then Lacey Evans came out and whew, thank God my homeboy Zeke was there for me, man, because he had them heart pills for me. And then that, because once she came out, all I could think is, damn legs. Yeah. And so yeah, Lacey comes out, talks about on how she's the reason Becky lost the title, and then Charlotte comes out saying that Charlotte's the one who took the title, and then Charlotte and Lacey start squaring off with each other verbally, and then Lacey hits Charlotte with a right, and oh man, this is not good. So yeah, which then led to a match between them, and it was pretty much a tussle, you know, trying to get a back and forth before the break. Afterwards, it was just, it was, man. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this is this show is like a monkey trying to hump a football. You can't make sense of it. It was, you know, on paper you got Charlotte Flair, Lacey Evans, both tall women, big figures, you know, big muscular figure for their size and height. You know, on paper it looks like them two would go well together. This just, ugh. The best part of this match was when it ended. It ended when Becky tossed Charlotte out of the ring, climbed in, proceeded to beat the snot out of Lacey, and yeah. So next up we got another women's match, Nikki Cross going against Peyton Royce, and this came to be because there was, well, it was announced earlier, but there was a backstage segment with them all, and a lot of people are still kind of confused about with the whole Nikki Cross thing, because it's the whole, when she's out in the ring, you know, when she's out in the ring and all, she's, oh, normal, crazy Nikki. But when she's in the back, she's calm, talks normal, seems sociable. I've been around women like that, I've dealt with women, and I have lived with women like that. Trust me, that is fucking, those are the crazy women that are scary, because you know why? Those are the ones that are gonna get a fucking pencil and stab you in the arm when you don't agree with them, and I can fucking prove that because I got the goddamn scar on my arm from it. Yeah, so this kind of way of doing crazy for Nikki Cross, I dig, but at the same time I'm completely petrified, like, because it just brings back so many flashbacks of one or three different exes that may or may not have stabbed me with at some point or time. Yeah. So, anyways, match. Peyton Royce, she was leading throughout the match, and at one point, Alexa Bliss, who was out there ringside cheering Nikki on, wound up calling down somebody. A little intern guy came down with a cup of coffee for her, which, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could fucking get something like that. Hey, coffee? No? Seriously, guys, you're not gonna give me... Fucking production crew, they can't even bother to spare for coffee in here. Anyways, so yeah, Alexa Bliss does that. Next thing you know, Peyton Royce sees it. She's freaking out at her over it. Bliss just dips her fingers in the mug, flicks it, flicks a little bit at her. Next thing you know, Peyton kicks the rope, which knocks the cup over, which was a really big waste of coffee. God, I hope it was decaf, just so that way it was justified. And then Peyton and Royce wound up doing a drop kick, which made Alexa Bliss fall and land in it, which, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, maybe she shouldn't have worn white jeans for that segment. That's all I'm going to say, because coffee mixed with cream, and then you spill it on white pants, yeah, I'll let you do the math. Anyways, match came to an end. Royce was caught up with that, gave Nikki enough time to get up, set her up, set her up on the ropes, did a neck breaker, 1, 2, 3, that was it. Bliss, well, next thing you know, Bliss was like had that quiet, mad look on her face. Next thing you know, climbed in the ring and then did a running drop kick onto Peyton Royce, started pounding her. Next thing you know, Nikki Cross like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, we won, yay! So, honestly, what it's looking like, gonna have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross team up, go against Peyton and Billie at some point for the women's tag titles. Who knows? Maybe. So now we come to the last match of the night, but not to say the final segment, but, you know, given the options of all the matches that happened, I would have to, dare I say, this was the match of the night. Ricochet against Cesaro. Nice pace, good back and forth, very much so like last week. Match came to an end when both guys were fighting back and forth over roll-ups. Ricochet wound up doing one on Cesaro, got the win. Quick impromptu win, which then led Cesaro to go and pound the crap out of Ricochet, and then went under the ring, pulled out a table, finding R-Truth just sitting there under it, on it, with, like, shit. Which then led to all the lower mid-card guys chasing after him, going for that coveted 24/7 title. And I know I have said before I was kind of on the boat, kind of iffy about the idea of the 24/7 title, but given all the fucking shit R-Truth is doing with this, I fucking love it now. I love this title. I hope he keeps it for forever at this point. Because honestly, it's just hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. You know? And, yeah. Not only that, they also showed a video the other day. R-Truth lost it and then got it back from Jinder Mahal on a golf course. So, Jinder Mahal is now the first man to be a former WWE and 24/7 champion. Just 2 titles away from being a Grand Slam now. So, yeah. And, yeah. So, that sums up all the matches. Other than that, segments that happened during the show. Brock came out, teased Seth that he was going to cash in. Instead, beat the snot out of him and then just said, I'm going to do it Friday. I'm going to do it Friday. And then he beat Seth up mercilessly, where they had to carry him out in a stretcher and a gurney and all that. Load him up in an ambulance, send him off. And then, so, here's my thing. I understand their psychology and the reasoning, but I didn't really follow through. I understand the psychology saying, okay, Brock's going to do mind games. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it then. But why beat the shit out of him to the point to where he's a fucking open target where all you'd have to do is just say, hey, ref, do it. And then put one foot down and then get 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Other than that, closing segment of the night, Undertaker came out, hyped up his match coming up with Goldberg, and the one thing I'm going to say about with this match, people are saying, oh, well, this match is 15 or 20 years too late, you know, both guys are over the hill, they're old, they're this age, that age, and all. Now, if you're going to play the age card, I want you to stop for a minute and look at Terry Funk when he was in ECW. The man was in his 50s and he was working fucking phenomenal. Look at Chris Jericho now. The man is about 48, 49. He's working. Not only that, he's going to be headlining AEW's next pay-per-view. You look at Triple H. The man is also roughly around the same age as Jericho. Still works. Age is just a number. If you can work and you're healthy enough to work, then don't worry about it. You know? In fact, here's another good example. AJ Styles. The man's about 41, 42. You gonna say he's over the hill? Because that's roughly around the same age where everyone else was saying it is. You know? So yeah. Like I said, Taker, he did a promo talking about on how he doesn't want Goldberg, the family man, whose wife and son are watching, cheering him on. He wants the vicious, mean, mythical Goldberg, who was a monster and destroyed and went through an entire locker room and all that jazz. You know, so basically he wants 1998 Bill Goldberg. So, yeah. So, yeah, that sums it up, and that is it for this week's show, folks. Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter, Tim Vicious. Do have another account, if I can put the Twitter jail, Tim_Vicious. Do also got one of them Facebook gimmicks, Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on my Facebook gimmick, make sure you let me know you found me on there from here. Or my Twitter at Tim Vicious. I don't think you got your creep Jones going. Also, big ups to my executive producer, Ali Rewind Man, who did provide the music for this week's show. If you want one of these sweet-ass Ali Rewind shirts, talk to me, I'll hit the man up for you. Show that man some love and support. And do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right here on that Twitter. Axel Malgi, Kenny Killer, DSP_IV, Cranky Asshole, Dazzy MWP, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, I can always tell y'all you love me great, you hate me.
Showed up. Now you're back to me.
Fuck yous.
I'm pissed. Turn around. Wondering why.